Hello, friends. Welcome to another episode of Daniel Bassi Economic and Financial Analysis page. I promise to continue with the discussion of a mixed economic system from our last discussion, but I will not do that. I will recap the discussion of economic system so that you really have um, the knowledge and the purpose of that discussion. Enjoy as you are listening to the talk. All right, we choose to discuss four basic economic systems: the individualism, socialism, capitalism, and mixed economic system. We choose also the individualism as the basic economic system from the world economy and how society developed. So, how the economic systems move from individual economic system, develop from individual economic system to the mixed economic system and where it's heading to. But what I want us to understand from that discussion of economic system, one, economic system is a way a state thinks to carry out economic activity first before the individual or citizens of the state can carry out the economic participate in economic, how they want the citizens to participate in um, uh, carrying out economic activities. The carrying out economic activities leads to economic development. So another thing we want us, the Nigerians and Akwa Ibom persons, to understand is that the economic system is not a side-by-side development. It is a development as a result of improvement from one system to another, and also make us to understand that economic itself is a dynamic subject. Economics system, different economic system we have in the world today is a result of improvement, advancement from one stage of development to another. For instance, the individualism was a concept that really it was a practice, not really a concept. It was a practice in the 13th, 14th centuries. That hunting economy, that time, the nature of economy, stone age economy, hunting economy, whereby nobody shared, no government was there to control major economic resources. That was land and bushes. You enter bushes and hunt. There was no control, and you farm, no control. Pick stones, makes all those stone tools. Nobody distributed. There was no aid from the government. It was about individual who are able, those that are able, the warriors who are able to do so. So it was the practice was propelled by individual effort. That is what you call individualism. There was no intervention as at that time. One key practice of evidence of individualism was the land, how we inherited the land. Land were claimed by individuals. Individuals made claims and they own it and they defend it and they own it. There was no history that government shared land to anybody. So individuals used their efforts to claim lands and earn it, claim it and use it. That was the era of individualism. But as the society expand, keep growing, you see, economic development follows the society's the growth and expansion of the society. The unity as a result of war, whatever unity, little communities unite together to fight war, society begins to expand. So the expansion made it impossible for an individual to own a whole lot of assets or economic resources. So you see, one development leads to another development. It's improvement. So that is the idea I want Nigerians and Akwa Ibom person to understand as you are making economic policies. It's not side by side development. So when the society, for instance, the individual communities begins to unite between, let us say, between the major um, um, proponents of socialism and capitalism. The European world was the major proponent of socialism, while the American are the proponents of the capitalism. When Europeans realize that they are one from the individual aspect, maybe from the fighting of the war, because after the war they unite. When they unite, they become a larger society. They now thought of ways of survival, carrying out their economic activities, harnessing of economic resources before their hand. So they now take up the system. At that time, individualism could not fit in. So American, on the other hand, thought of how they should man the economic resources. The Americans proponent advocated for socialism. The European proponent advocated for socialism, while American advocated for capitalism. And they put it to use. American, on the other side, criticized socialism as it would be efficient system, while the Americans takes to capitalism, believing that it is the capitalism that work better for mankind. And American capitalism believe in laissez-faire, the action of demand and supply in the market. That's when you buy and when you produce to sell, that the two activity will control the market and distribute economic resources equitably to the people. But on the other hand, the European world believe it's government that will control the economic activities, production. The key economic activities is the production and exchange, and divide certain group of people into what they call proletariat and imperialists, the labor group and the owners of the asset. Then the citizens are there. The two group will produce, the two group will head the production, and then government distributes it to the citizens. But these two concepts were met with their challenges, shortcomings. The socialist group were actually inefficient, and also the inefficiency leads to lack of freedom of choice. Creativities and innovation were not allowed. Human beings were not allowed to be productive. So lack of productivity leads to inefficiency. Lack of freedom leads to lack of choices. People were living a same style that did not give them self-esteem, dignity, because of that breeds problem and disloyalty, wars, insurgency in a society. On the other hand, capitalism breeds some shortcomings. There were some challenges there. There were class divide. Individuals were able, who had more competitive power, they formed cartels, and monopolies were taken. They take the state resources by few people, and they traded everything. They traded human beings. The slave trade were led by capitalists. So at the same time, racism, discrimination, they use this thing to, sometimes they use it to inflict pains on those that are not loyal to them. So as a result, certain groups were advocating for government to intervene and regulate the market, not to leave resources in the hands of the capitalists, business people alone. Government, there should be a system. Government should make laws and regulate market, regulate some goods, and by so doing, calling for intervention, they were demanding some characteristics of socialist concept into capitalist system. While on the other hand, the European world that practiced the socialist concept, they were also demanding for freedom. People should participate in production. People should work so that they can live the lifestyle they want. They can have good standard of living. So the two systems came to a halt in early 1920s. We have what we call Great Depression, where economic there was no headway. So from 1923, the American adopt mixed economic system that is partly government intervention and partly free market economy. And also the socialist world also adopts same. They adopt full market economy and partly government intervention, not full plan socialism and full capitalism. The capitalism died at that time, but it couldn't bring the expected growth. Economy could not grow. Depression was that the Great Depression means everything you do at that time is going down. You are not gaining, you are losing because of high level of inflation. Money did not have value again. But what revived the economy was when government intervened and budget care begins to care. There's what they call social care. They advocated for social care that time. Government makes some policies to provide health care services and restore intervene in the market. So some of the European world that chose the mixed economy are the one forming NATO today. The NATO allies, they become allies, because they are using the same economic system. Then they choose a political system that suits that economic system, which is democracy that we have today. Some that did not agree, like Russia and North Korea, China, they try to improve the socialism. China improved socialism to communism. They call it communism today. So Russia are still called socialist state, while North Korea, they are still called socialist state. South Korea have break away and joined the mixed economic system. So the knowledge I want Nigerians and Akwa Ibom person to understand is that economic development or economic system in the world is a result of improvement because of the failure of the previous one. Improvement from the failure of the previous one is not side by side development. So what does that inform us is that when you see Nigerian policy, they keep budgeting they keep budgeting, they keep intervening, keep doing all things in the governance, following a particular economic policy that even arcade. So this discussion really wants to point out that while you are budgeting, you have to look at where the system you are using. Today, Nigeria is using a mixed economic system. What is the proponents of the current proponents of the mixed economic system are adopting today in the world? That is the purpose of this discussion. You understand? So don't see the socialism, say it was a system, socialism was an improvement because the society became larger. Now the Nigerian population is exploding. Now we are heading to market economy. What are the improvements that we need to make? So economic system were formed, developed as a result of improvement and failure of the previous system. Full capitalism laissez-faire failed. And today you cannot return to capitalism or laissez-faire. The world economy has transformed beyond that. You cannot return to full socialism. It has transformed beyond that. So thank you very much for this recap. I believe this has, in one way or the other, x-ray one knowledge or the other and one practice or the other. We will discuss mixed economy in the next episode. Thank you for your time. Thank you for listening to us. Like the page, follow the page, encourage us. We are trying to create an impact for the generation. Economic matters should be understood by all and sundry. Thank you.